they say you die twice. The first is the physical exit, the moment your heart stops beating and your lungs take their final breath. But the second death is the one that truly haunts us, the very last time someone speaks your name. If that thought sends a cold shiver down your spine, you aren't alone. This is the second death, and it's the ultimate psychological deadline. Most of us spend our entire lives running a race against a finish line we can't even see. We build monuments, we write books, we chase success like it's a shield against the void. But why are we so terrified of a silence that we won't even be around to hear? Psychology suggests that our identity is a story we tell to feel permanent in a temporary world. When that story ends, our brain treats it as a total system failure. We aren't just afraid of the end of our bodies, we are afraid of the end of our impact. We want to believe that we left a neural trace in the minds of the people we loved. You are currently listening to this because your brain is a meaning-making machine. It is hardwired to seek symbolic immortality to quiet the noise of its own mortality. You want to know that your existence wasn't just a flicker in the dark. This is the existential itch that keeps you awake at 3 a.m. wondering if you've done enough. It's the reason we take photos, keep journals, and crave the validation of the crowd. But the more we chase fame, the more we realize that names are just echoes. Echoes eventually fade, and that realization is the beginning of true psychological maturity. Let's look at the terror that drives us to build empires out of dust. In the 1980s, psychologists developed a concept called terror management theory, or TMT. It suggests that almost everything we do is a defense against the knowledge of death. Human beings are the only species on Earth that knows, with 100% certainty, that it will die. This creates a fundamental conflict, a biological drive to survive in a body that cannot. To manage this terror, we create cultural worldviews, systems of belief that give us value. Whether it's religion, nationalism, or your personal legacy, these are buffing systems for the soul. When you feel self-esteem, your brain is actually telling you that you are a meaningful contributor. You feel safe because you feel significant enough to outlast your biological clock. This is why we get so defensive when our beliefs or our names are challenged. An attack on your legacy feels like an attack on your very survival. We are dopamine chasing our way into the history books to avoid the second death. We think that if we are remembered, we are somehow still here. But TMT shows us that this is often a psychological trap that keeps us from living. We become so obsessed with the future version of ourselves that we forget the present one. We are building a digital ghost to live on the internet, while our real selves are starving for peace. The anxiety you feel about being forgotten is just your brain's way of keeping you productive. It's a survival feature that has been turned into a social bug. But what if the second death wasn't a tragedy to be avoided at all costs? What if the silence at the end of the name is actually where the freedom begins? Let's explore the legacy trap and how it distorts your view of a good life. We often mistake being noticed for being remembered, but they are not the same thing. In our hyper-connected world, we chase micro-legacy through likes, views, and followers. We want to leave a digital footprint so deep that the waves of time can't wash it away. But symbolic immortality is a heavy burden to carry through a life that is meant to be light. When you obsess over your name, you are living for a ghost that doesn't exist yet. You are performing for an audience that will eventually be ghosts themselves. The psychology of legacy is often just a refined form of ego disguised as purpose. We want to be great so we don't have to face the fact that we are small. But there is a quiet power in being small that we have completely forgotten. The stars don't care if you know their names, yet they shine with total intensity. The flowers don't bloom for the history books, they bloom because it is their nature. When you stop trying to cheat death through your legacy, you start living life through your senses. You move from performance to presence, and the second death loses its sting. You realize that your impact is not a record kept by the world, but a feeling kept by your heart. Every kind word you spoke and every shared laugh is a neural trace you've already left. You don't need to be a monument to have been real. The pressure to be extraordinary is the very thing that makes us feel ordinary and empty. Your name is just a label. Your existence is the actual masterpiece. It is time to trade your need to be remembered for the right to be here. The final silence is not a failure. It is the natural conclusion of a beautiful song. So, how do we find peace in a world that eventually forgets everyone? It starts by shifting your focus from duration to depth, from how long to how well. In somatic psychology, we learn that the body is the only place where life actually happens. The future is an abstraction and the past is a memory, but the now is absolute. When you embrace the second death, you are finally free from the judgment of posterity. You don't have to prove anything to a world that won't exist in 1,000 years. You are allowed to just be, to enjoy the sensation of breathing and the taste of coffee. Your value is not cumulative. It is instantaneous and infinite in this very second. The quiet advantage of the forgotten is that they are the only ones who are truly free. They aren't posturing for a statue, they are participating in the dance of existence. The names that fade are the ones that finally found rest. Think of the billions of people who came before you. Their names are gone, but their life force is in you. You are the living legacy of 1,000 forgotten smiles and quiet acts of courage. You don't need a plaque when you have a pulse. The second death is just the final gift of a life that was fully, truly used up. So, let them forget your name, as long as they felt your warmth while you were here. The echo is less important than the voice that created it in the first place. You are the protagonist of a story that doesn't need an afterword to be perfect. The silence is not the end of the music, it is the space that makes the music possible. Keep breathing, keep loving, and keep being beautifully temporary.